Hello! Today we will show you how to transform one object into another using shrink wrap deformer, which allows to shrink and wrap the source object into the target object. First, let's make the source object that we will transform. Open the asset browser by clicking on the asset browser logo. Search for dock. Drag and drop the dock base model into the viewport. Right-click on the dock base in the Object Manager and select Connect Object plus Delete to merge the model parts into a single mesh object and delete the original model parts. Now let's create a target object into which we will transform the source object. Search for ball in the asset browser. Drag and drop the tennis ball model into the viewport. Close the asset browser and zoom in the default camera. To transform the dock base into the tennis ball, create a shrink wrap deformer by clicking and holding on the bend icon and choosing shrink wrap from the pop-up palette. And make the shrink wrap deformer a child of the source object. It is the dock base. Go to the Object tab of the shrink wrap deformer. Drag and drop the tennis ball from the Object Manager into the Target Object Property field and switch the mode to Target Axis. This option means the trace of each point of the source object will be sent to the coordinate center of the target object and projected onto its surface. As you can see, the dock base was projected onto the tennis ball. Now let's drag the slider of the strength property back and forth. When the strength is 0%, the dock base is untouched, and when the strength is 100%, the dock base is projected onto the tennis ball object. Now let's make the dock base project onto the entire surface of the tennis ball. For this, set the strength to 0%, select the tennis ball in the Object Manager, and drag the tennis ball up along the y-axis in the viewport so that it is inside the dock base. Then select the shrink wrap deformer in the Object Manager, go to the Object tab, and drag the slider of the strength property forth and back. Now the transformation looks more realistic. Let's animate the strength property. To do this, make sure that the time slider is at frame 0, set the strength to 0%, and click on the diamond to the left of the strength property to create the first keyframe. Then move the time slider to frame 90, set the strength to 100%, and create the second keyframe. Go to the start of the timeline and press the Play Forwards button to test the animation. Stop the animation and go to the start of the timeline. Now let's make a smooth transition of materials. For this, copy the material tag of the tennis ball to the dock base by dragging and dropping the material tag of the tennis ball to the dock base while holding down the control button on your keyboard. Double-click on the tennis ball material tag, go to the Basic tab, check the Alpha box, go to the Alpha tab, click on the small triangle to the right of the texture, select Color from the drop-down menu, and click on the Color button. Now the color is white, therefore the tennis ball material is visible. If you set the color to black, the tennis ball material will be invisible. Let's animate the color property of the tennis ball material so that the tennis ball material gradually becomes visible, thus providing a smooth transition of materials. To do this, make sure that the time slider is at frame 0, change the color to black, and click on the diamond to the left of the color property to create the first keyframe. Then move the time slider to frame 90, change the color to white, and create the second keyframe. Go to the start of the timeline and press the Play Forwards button to test the animation. This is what we got after rendering. You can learn more about making smooth transition of classical and redshift materials from our 2 previous videos. Thank you for your attention, subscribe to the channel and put your finger up.